We're just a few weeks away from Double or Nothing, the latest pay-per-view offering from All Elite Wrestling. And where is it located? In Sin City, the gambling capital of the country, Las Vegas. And my oh my, you want to talk about a gamble? All Elite Wrestling certainly is gambling on the fact that people are going to flock to the arena in droves. And if they can't be there live, they're going to purchase it, especially in the U.S., for $50 goddamn dollars. A $50 pay-per-view. Well, how are they going to entice people to continue to plunk down money for pay-per-views like this? Well, the main event is going to be a four-way. It's going to be four men, all human centipede together, fisting, grinding, sweating, pounding, protruding, and just submitting and submissiving all over each other. It's just going to be absolutely incredible with so many viscous fluids going all over, but a $50 four-way. Let me tell you, that is the second cheapest four-way that I will have ever witnessed on camera. You don't want to know about the first. I'm Charles Renton with my review of AEW Dynamite from Baltimore, Maryland. Baltimore, Maryland. A city on the East Coast, a rich history when it comes to professional wrestling. So many great shows going back decades, and then this. AEW has done some really good television, and often, even on their worst shows, they'll do something where I'm like, okay, this wasn't bad, and then they can't stay out of their own way. And this was an example where, honestly, the last couple matches were pretty good overall, but it was such a slog to get to any of the good stuff. They have just over 3 weeks to really, really hype up people on this pay-per-view, and honestly, they're in a lot of trouble. They'll get enough people to purchase it, and they're already doing well as far as All In. Apparently, Wembley Stadium, they've got 45,000 people that have already, in the pre-sale era, or the pre-sale portion, buying these tickets. That's pretty goddamn good. They're doing Double or Nothing. Forbidden Door is going to be taking place like a month later, and then All In, and then All Out. And this is asking a lot of the most loyal, die-hard wrestling fans to plunk down that much money. So I hope that Double or Nothing is going to be worth it. I'm going to be buying it because I buy all their pay-per-views. But that being said, this show, good God, let's just get to it. 14K capacity in the arena, 5,500 people is apparently the setup according to WrestleTix on Twitter. They're a great follow, by the way. So, how'd they open this show? To really start the road to Double or Nothing. It's all about the boom. Adam Cole, baby, and Roderick Strong. Roderick Strong making his in-ring debut for AEW. They teamed up with Bandito and Orange Cassidy. Oh, for fuck goddamn sake, we can never get away from Orange Cassidy. I will never know peace. Hager 2.0 and Garcia were there, and Jericho joined the commentary because they're bound determined to just run as many fans that might be tuning in. Let's give this a chance. Oh, we have a screeching old man that is upset about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame not appreciating the good acts, maybe not putting Judas in, or, not Judas. Well, yeah, not nominating Judas or not nominating Fozzy, because Fozzy's not actually a band, and Jericho's not actually a singer. Michael Hayes is more of a singer than Jericho. Referee Aubrey, and I love Aubrey Edwards. Great representation of Washington State, but they make all their referees seem ineffective and foolish, and Aubrey's not foolish. She's a very good referee. She's one of my favorite referees going today. Jericho, referencing the Adam Cole, Britt Baker stuff, that he'd, go through heaven and earth for the woman he loves. Oh, you mean the woman that you love that, well, wait, the woman that you cheated on the woman that you love with or whatever, not that he was the only wrestler to do that, or do you mean your wife that was there with your mother-in-law at the insurrection attempt? You mean that one? Chris Irvine? Anyway, I didn't care about this match because it involves Orange Cassidy and Jericho's flunkies. This was stupid. This was a terrible way to open up the show. The boom kick pins Parker. I think it was Parker. I don't care. And then Cole immediately tackles Chris Jericho. Just runs. He gets a dead run, tackles him, and they knock the curtains over, and they battle, and all this, and security separates them. That part was okay. I don't care about this Jericho-Cole stuff, because I don't think it's been very good. But whatever, at least it ended okay, but this was like 15 minutes for this shit. With more Orange Cassidy, and it's played out, than the Jericho Appreciation Society is terrible. It's fucking terrible. Renee's with Darby and Jack Perry about the main event. Are they on the same side? And then we get a little bit of tension later. Story long, or show long story. That's good. Do more of that. So, Backstage with Jericho, Cole's being taken out and Britt slaps Jericho. Britt also might want to, read the goddamn room when it comes to her merch. Just looking at that and without context, it looks like somebody would just be saying, oh yeah, it's like hitting a woman, it's great. Or I'm okay with displaying a picture of a woman with a bruise over her eye. I'm just saying, there's certain context to it, and Britt kind of opening her big fat yap when she probably should learn to read the room. And be grateful that the company actually wants to keep her, because let's be honest, if she was in WWE trying to pull this shit, they probably would have kicked her to the goddamn curb. So, the Blackpool Combat Club, Danielson basically talks about the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. How selfish, because I came along and I'm better than he ever was. I'm better than all the past talents. And there are talents that will come along that are better than me. There's Yuta. I love this little shit. They're not bleeping it again. I don't get it. They want to push people to be better than us. One of us. Gooble gobble, one of us. And then Moxley said something about blades sharpening iron, or iron sharpening blades. Moxley's kind of laughable at this point. He does mention how the Elite were once cutting edge. No, they really weren't. They were just jokes. Just they had mass hypnosis over people. But nevertheless, there are people who like them. That's fine. Steel cage hype. Okay. Willow Nightingale took on Saraya, defender of Abusiverse. You want to talk about that piece of shit? I could. I'm not going to anymore, because this whole Outcast thing is terrible. Willow is over. Very over. And I look forward to seeing her continue to be over, and hopefully against better opponents. It was a mistake to ever bring in Saraya, especially to have her wrestle. This was bad. This was really bad. This did nothing for Willow. The Outcast distraction stuff, it was stupid. It was like bad NWO stuff. And eventually Saraya hits a DDT variation, 1, 2, 3. They do a beatdown. Here's Sheeta. Good God, I have missed Sheeta on my television. She has a kendo stick, and then she teases, oh my God, she hugs the Outcast. Oh no, Sheeta's joined. And then she's got the spray can, and suddenly Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker show up. And then Sheeta is like, oh, it was a ruse, and she sprays Saraya in the face. Saraya should be used to that on camera. I would feel bad for saying that, but she deserves every bit of ridicule that she gets, because she constantly defends her boyfriend, who has a criminal history and a list of charges longer than she's had drug charges. So yeah, I don't feel fucking bad about that. Hope it goddamn burnt. I mean, obviously it wasn't real spray paint, but just this whole thing is stupid. This is gonna lead to a women's blood and guts, which, I mean, I'm kind of sick of the whole blood and guts war games thing anyway. But hell, maybe Saraya will be taken out on a stretcher and never seen again. We can only hope. So anyway, great to see Sheeta back. So anyway, yeah, there were kendo stick shots also. And then the House of Black pre-tape. They talk House of Black rules. And if you face us for the trios titles, this is what it is. 20 count, no rope breaks. And then they did some other convoluted stuff that I didn't quite understand. Did they loop the tape wrong? What's going on here? Why are they doing Ravens rules? I don't know. Speaking of things I don't know really why they were on television, Trace Trios Battle Royal. 6 teams, winners face House of Black. At the pay-per-view, possibly, I don't care. It was the Lucha Vikings, a.k.a. the Lucha Bros. I thought Phoenix was taking time off for injuries, but nevertheless, and El Hijo del Vikino. The Viking Man can, because he does a bunch of flips and lands on some wood. Ow. Butcher, Blade, and Kip, for some reason, they still think Kip Sabian's a wrestler. Dark Order. Sick of this. Varsity Athletes, Nice, Josh Woods, who has potential, and Ari Daivari. Hobbs, Solo, and QT, and the Acclaim with Billy. Of course, there was one funny line by Caster. I heard the Q in QT stands for QAnon. You know, given how stupid QT seems, I really hope QT doesn't think like that, because anybody that believes in the QAnon stuff is moronic. If you do, you're moronic. If you have children, your children should not be around you, because children deserve to be raised by somebody smart. Anyway, I didn't care. The Acclaimed won. I didn't care. I did not care about this. Because it's a battle royal. It's another battle royal. 15 minutes of television for this. And then Sammy, what will he do? Look what you made me do. And then MJF says, oh, I'm sorry. I know you saw the footage and everything, but I've had crippling chronic back pain from carrying this company for the last year. And he's just playing all this up and everything. And Sammy's like, no, it's okay. Don't worry about it. And then MJF hugs Sammy and says, this guy, after one night, he's going to lay down like a little bit. I mean, like my best friend. And it was fine. It was fine for what it was. It was whatever. It was funny. What wasn't funny was Omega talking. He tried to do a serious promo and he can't. I don't ever want to see Don Callis on my television. It is a shame that his skull was not split in two legit and that he was put in traction for the kind of person that he is. Just read up on the guy. He ain't a good guy. And I don't ever want to see Don Callis on my television. Fortunately, I'm going to because Tony Khan can't say no to anybody. Omega just cannot do he can't do a promo. He just can't. This is hype up the steel cage match. Wardlow then beat a guy named Logan LaRue, who apparently is Lash LaRue's grandson. Boy, that is a deep cut. Actually, maybe Nevertheless, Wardlow says, I can do this all day. He calls out Christian and Luchasaurus, and Christian tries to cut a promo to make sense of this, and Orange just stood there, and Christian said, oh, the title shot is not for Luchasaurus, it's for me. Remember when Christian seemed like he might make a difference in AEW, and even before his injury, he was already made to feel, Now it just feels like he's waiting out his contract. Then we go to Sandy Fork, Delaware. We go to the Briscoe compound, and Mark Briscoe is there, and Team TNA decides to help them, and they do comedy stuff where Giant Silva Jr.'s in overalls or coveralls. Same with Sanjay. What is this? What? Why? I have nothing against them incorporating Mark Briscoe. They should be utilizing him better. This is stupid. This is really stupid. Papa Briscoe says Lethal's fine. Those others are idiots. They did this better on Ring of Honor television and pay-per-view. Lethal and Jarrett are going to challenge FTR at Double or Nothing. Then Starks took on Juice Robinson, and a match that was well worked. I'm sick of the Bullet Club stuff. This is the 10-year anniversary of Bullet Club being formed, and it doesn't feel a day over 200,000 years. Bullet Club's a fucking husk of what it once was. The barricade spots were kind of brutal. Eventually, there was a nice slam off the steps, not utilizing the steps, but slamming off the steps. That was a cool spot. And then Juice kept going for the victory, but did eventually get hit with the spear. Rochambeau, 1, 2, 3, clean. Okay. And then Jay White attacked, but Starks got the advantage because Juice was still down there in the corner. Tried to get the Rochambeau, Juice stopped him, and they tumbled to the outside, or they rolled to the outside. Jay White versus Ricky Starks, and they could have utilized Ricky Starks a whole lot better. This wasn't a bad match. It's just, I don't care for Jay. There are people that do. That's fine. So we go, Rampage, by the way, is going to be on 3:30 p.m. my time. The Firm Deletion match. I'm not looking forward to that. That may be a long Rampage review because I may just simply say I'm writing off every single person involved in this because all the Hardy cinematic bullshit is, well, bullshit. So, MJF ends up finding Jungle Boy or Jack Perry backstage after Darby leaves and says, I think of what I could do for you because I've helped Sammy and everything. You're not World Cup or you're not World Champ material or whatever, but you could get a spot by the throne. And Jungle Boy says, I don't want a spot by the throne. I want to take the crown. And then Darby's wondering, what's going on here? And MJF says, ask your tag partner. The entrances take roughly 5 minutes. Darby and Jack Perry, MJF and Sammy even got a mashup theme. The story was who could trust who, whose side is who on. There was nice wrestling. It was great to see MJF in the TV match again because we haven't seen that, I think, since he faced Ricky Starks back at Winter is Coming. And it worked. It really should have just been focused on MJF and Darby because I really think that's where the money is, but Shivani cheers the fact that MJF got choked out by his own scarf, getting, it put back on him. And then we get Darby fighting for the tag, crowd pops, Jungle Boy, or Jack Perry hits a bunch of dives. And then Darby hits one huge dive on Sammy, throws him back in. We get a melee. We get some good near falls, a snare trap on MJF. Sammy breaks that up. A DDT spike for 2. We get the blind tag, and then eventually MJF's like, Sammy, we're trying to win. He slaps Sammy. Sammy kicks him, or Sammy kicks MJF. And then eventually Jungle Boy kicks Sammy, and then hits the elbow from behind. But Darby had hit a blind tag, got the coffin drop, 1, 2, 3. And now it's a 4-way. They went around their elbow to get to their wrist, and it's just, I think it's going to be a good match, despite the fact it'll be convoluted. I hope it is. Let's see what they do with Double or Nothing, but just right now, the television is really hard to get through sometimes. It really is. When they do great stuff, I enjoy it. But there's a lot of slop and a lot of issues, and they got a lot of people that they're going to need to either put on ice, pay off, and just have sit at home, or they got to they got to do something. They got to change things around. Let's see what happens. With that being said, Rampage this Friday. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rentlin. I'll see you soon.